Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. I actually want to create this video for those of you guys who are in the collective. So this wouldn't be like my situation and what I personally experienced with my mirror soul. This is something that, yes, I experienced with exes. And in my particular situation, those people were not my true love. That being said, what I'm about to talk about is it's going to be one of my clients' experiences when she saw that in her 3D reality, her specific person, they did start to communicate again. And then she learned about things, and what she learned about triggered her very deeply, and it's causing her to want to give up because she's falling for the 3D circumstance. Again, this is not my experience that when I talk about this, I just want to be crystal clear about that. But the reason why I do think it's going to be helpful is that it's going to kind of illustrate why some of you guys are getting deeply triggered and wanting to give up as it relates to the movement that you are getting with your specific person. So I'm going to walk through some of the things that happened. And if you're relating to this, and if you're recognizing these are things that are happening to me too, then I believe this video will help you detach from the 3D and get back in your power and in your trust of your end. Because no matter what, your end does exist, or you simply wouldn't be able to feel into it and desire it. All right. So I pray that this video is going to help my client who recently emailed me. I believe you will recognize yourself in this video and anyone else out there. So before I get into this, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel if you love my content. If you want me to be your coach, email me a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Then book your session with me at my website, coreunion.com. You can do a single session or a package, short and sweet, to the point. So this is what happened. And this is what happens to a lot of you guys. So it is common. So don't beat yourself up about it, but do see the habits that cause the spirals that cause you always getting to that edge of wanting to give up, because this is where consciously creating and deliberately manifesting can become toxic, because you aren't realizing that you're actually consciously creating and deliberately manifesting your old story to recycle itself over and over and over again, because you keep falling for the 3D and the things that are said in the 3D. So something happens between you and somebody that you were dating. So in your mind, you're thinking of them as your ex. That's the number one thing. You stop thinking about them as your ex. If you want to be married to them, they are your wife, husband, or partner. That's number one. Number two, you start to search around and you see that there's a chance that you can actually be together with them. So you learn about manifesting. But while you're learning about manifesting, you're only consuming content, and the content itself, there's conflicting information. And then you get upset with the coaches or the content creators, but it's not their fault. They are creating from their perspectives. Whether it's limited or not, that doesn't matter. So when it comes to learning and applying the law of assumption, if you continue to seek outside of you for evidence if you're doing something right, or if this is true, or the next best, greatest method or technique, or you're also consuming books, like you're seeking for knowledge of, say, for example, Florence Scovel Shinn, an amazing and incredible teacher. You could call her a mystic. Her information is extremely valuable, and you can manifest amazing things in your reality. From Florence Scovel Shinn's perspective, when it comes to a specific person, she isn't necessarily going to be in alignment with Neville Goddard. And even with Neville Goddard, even there are lectures where he explains there are certain circumstances where you wouldn't want to continue manifesting NSP, but those are circumstances like, are they a rapist? Are they a murderer? Right? So when the thing is that when you are constantly seeking outside of you and you're not allowing yourself to go into trust and do your inner work for a good amount of time, all of that time that you're spending doing that, even if it's 6, 7, 8 months a year, that technically is not you deliberately creating what you want in your reality with your specific person. That is actually you deliberately creating, even though you're not realizing it, but you are conscious. You're conscious and aware of confusion, of seeking, of not believing in yourself, of not trusting yourself, of technically not trusting in your heart and soul, not trusting that it already exists and that it's done, not trusting that God's got your back. Whether you want to see God as being an entity outside of you, or if you realize that you are God pushed out in a human, perfect human form. You have to realize that this is you. You are manifesting what you don't want. So then your SP comes back, which just proves that your inner work is working. But when they do come back, they come back and maybe they tell you that they're still upset with you, that they're still angry with you. But also in the conversation, there's also evidence that the feelings are deep, but they're still blaming you for something. You have to recognize that all this time when you've been doing your inner work, you have been blaming yourself for the things that have happened. You've remained upset and angry with yourself. You haven't let go of the past. So if you are blaming yourself and you haven't let go of the past because you think you effed everything up, your SP will mirror that back to you and will blame you and won't let go of the past. Beyond that, if during this time, it's normal and natural that people fear that somehow their SP ended up being with other people, oftentimes the issue of third parties, a single or multiple third parties might be reflected back to you. Again, this was something that was in your awareness because you were fearful of it. And instead of letting go and dropping that fear and going deep into trust, you kept that, you were manifesting that. So then your person comes back, you guys get into it, then you're getting in your fear and your worry and your doubt again, and you're not actually trusting in the process because you haven't actually shifted into understanding what this entire process is. So you're seeking, seeking, seeking instead of going within and trusting. You're trying this technique, this method, reading this book, reading that book, and all of this other stuff. Everything is conflicting. It causes a lot of confusion. And then in your reality, you're fearful that they're going to leave again. And then when you guys communicate next, they say, that's it, I'm done. We're going into no contact again. I don't want anything to do with this. And then you blame yourself again. Instead, just step back from it because this is a cycle and you need to put an end to the cycle. And how you put an end to the cycle is you let it all go and chalk it up to these were all manifestations before I realized and was conscious of what the law of assumption was. And I didn't realize my power. I didn't realize the power of my imagination, the power of my subconscious mind. I didn't realize who I was in my reality. I didn't realize that all of creation is done. I didn't realize that my programming of my past was being reflected back to me. So let it all go. Drop it. It doesn't friggin' matter. Go in your heart and soul and trust what's in your heart and soul and let go of this version of you. So you need to go to your end. And if your end is being happy and loving together, stable, secure, harmonious, blissful, then obviously you have to let go of what is being reflected back to you because that does not equal your end. So don't give up. Instead, let go of all of the BS stories that created everything and get in your trust. Drop it all. Let it all go. Know your power. Know who you are. Know what your heart and soul is telling you and trust in that and hand it over and surrender and attach everything over to God, the God within, the God without. Okay? You have to either go all in or get completely out, because doing this to yourselves is not helping your manifestation, and it's simply drowning you. Excuse me, it's simply draining you. So either you go all in and trust or you don't. But if you go all in and trust, then the things that I spoke about earlier, you don't seek evidence outside of you. You buy the pearl. You realize that your awareness has power, and your awareness on anything expands it. So if you're commenting under videos, if you're constantly ruminating on the stuff that you don't want, if you're refusing to let go of that old self-concept of yours, if you're refusing to let go of the things that were said and done, the old memories, if you're continuing to see that you're not a priority or that your person doesn't trust you and you continue to blame yourself, I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. Okay? And I love you, but today has to be a little bit of a butt kicking. And I'm saying this all with love. So just please drop it all and let it go and get back in your power and stop seeking evidence outside of you. Listen to your heart and soul. Step into your power. Step into unconditional love. Unconditional love and pure forgiveness. Go into that Christ consciousness. And just drop it all and remain in faith and stay in your end and embody that version of you as much as you possibly can. And when the stuff comes up again in your mind, you're going to have to be strong and let it go and control yourself and be disciplined. And you can affirm for that too, by the way. You can affirm for, if you're unable to be focused and disciplined, you can affirm for, I love that I'm able to focus and discipline on everything that I want. I love that I'm able to, every day I become stronger and stronger in every way. Every day I'm able to focus and be disciplined on all of the things that I'm manifesting in my reality. Every day I'm able to trust myself deeper. Every day I'm able to surrender all of my old stories. Every day I'm able to become more and more empowered in who I was created to be. You can affirm for literally everything. And then every time any bit of an old story or anything comes up that you don't want, you affirm for being the opposite of that. And then you can back it up with some form of an inner conversation. Okay? I love you so much. This was a short and sweet butt kicking. I love you. I hope and I pray that it helped. Please do comment down below if it did help and reach out to me if you need me. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.